no one has explained to the public what is really a 30-year project to expand our pieces on the board all over the former Soviet Union. No one's explained Project Ukraine. No one has explained to the public that Zbigniew Brzezinski, by the way, whom I liked and thought was really a smart guy, how he laid out in 1997 the strategy. Clearly, it's in a paper called The Strategy for Eurasia in Foreign Affairs magazine. He says by 2005 to 2010, we'll be inviting Ukraine to join NATO. This was a long-term plan. It's backfired. It's gone terribly wrong. And you ask me, what's the truth about Ukraine? The truth is that Ukrainians are dying or being seriously wounded at a rate of typically more than 1,000 per day right now, sometimes even twice that number. There's an incredible destruction of Ukrainian society underway right now. And the few people that are in charge of this policy, whether it's Zelensky, I don't know if he's in charge, people say he'd be killed if he tried anything else, but the few people that are in charge on the Ukrainian side and the very few people that are in charge on the American side, because they're running this whole war, are really fighting to the last Ukrainian, right? This is what's actually happening. It's terrifying. This is not a democratically elected government in Ukraine. This is a government of martial law that has overstayed its constitutional limit. There is no internal constraint. People are being shot at the rivers, the border with Romania, for example, if they try to swim across the river to avoid conscription. People are being dragged off the streets right now because they're being sent to the front lines with no training, essentially. Maybe they're told how to handle a gun and how to load it, but then they're sent off to the front lines and they're dying in huge numbers right now. And this is American policy. This is our policy. This is supposedly in the defense of freedom. This isn't in the defense of freedom. This is in the quest to put our peace on the board in this game of risk that we're playing. Now, it's all turning extraordinarily dangerous. The Ukrainian regime is very radicalized. It is fighting for its survival as a regime and killing a lot of its citizens in the process. But it's doing things that are extraordinarily dangerous, sometimes at the provocation. The British, for example, always provoking. They were an empire longer than we've been an empire. And their behavior is even worse, though they have less power now. But they always tell the Ukrainians, go smash the Russians wherever you can. And a couple of weeks ago, the Ukrainians hit the radar of Russia's anti-nuclear war early warning system. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? You want to really end the world by destabilizing the early warning system against a nuclear attack of a nuclear superpower? But they did that at 2 sites. What we're seeing is exactly Ukraine becoming the Afghanistan of Europe. What do I mean by that? I meant Afghanistan was in war for decades. It was destroyed. Its civil culture destroyed, the economy destroyed, the organization of the state destroyed, the infrastructure destroyed. That's American handiwork. We were there. We were there all that time. All we wanted was our place there, our piece on the board. But that's what's happening in Ukraine, too.